Now, after all of our practice doing the last few problems with how to break even, we're going to do it from a paragraph. So Mary's been put in charge of school function. She estimates fixed costs and a $4 per unit variable cost. And she charges $13 a ticket. She can sell 200 tickets, but if she lowers the price to $7, she could sell more. She could sell 550 tickets. Assuming the demand price is linear, what price should she charge to break even? Okay, so first of all, break even, we could do two ways. We could say that profit is equal to 0, or we could say that revenue is equal to cost. But either way, we need to build a revenue function and a cost function. Okay, cost, I know that it's $4 per person. That's my variable cost is $4 per person, so times by the quantity, plus fixed costs of $9.20. So I've got the cost function. For the price function, I don't have, what I have is data. So I know that for price, if Q is 200 people, price was $13. And a Q 550, the price is $7. And you might be asking, well, why are you writing the quantity on this side? Because quantity goes in the first coordinate, price goes in the second coordinate. We could use algebra and find the equation. That's what we did in the first chapters. But we can also use Excel. I have quantity and price. That's the demand price, the selling price. Quantity is 200, demand was 13, quantity is 550, demand is 7. Then I can graph those data. And it didn't pick it up correctly. See how it's off? So let me right click and select data and switch the row and column. Now I have demand price and the color coding looks correct. The X values in purple, the Y value header in red, and then the values in blue. Add a chart element, get a trend line. Okay, so my slope is 0.0171. That's a pretty small slope and because my number of units is rather large. So I'm going to go ahead and format the trend line label. Under the 3 bars, go from general to number. And here you can change the decimal places. I want to see 6. Okay, now see what happened over here? Got a little quirk in my Excel. Hopefully it's not happening to you, but I just need to kind of jar it a little bit. If you just change this setting and then put it back, see how it now everything went out to 6. Kind of quirky. There's my demand price formula. Let me put my grid lines back in. There we go. Okay, I want to set up the equations. Quantity, price, cost, revenue, and profit. Quantity 10, 20, 30, so on. Price is this function that I just modeled. Take out the reference to X, put in your times sign, and get the quantity. Cost is this formula, the 4Q plus 920. So 4 times the quantity plus 920. Once those are built, revenue is price times by quantity, and profit is revenue take away cost. Copy those down. I see my first break-even point here between 80 and 90 because the Profit goes from negative to positive, but I don't see another break-even point. So I'm going to create more data, copy my formulas down. Oh, profit is still going up, so I can create more data. So now I'm going to have bigger jumps in my data, 300, 400, 500. See how my profit, was going up, and now it's starting to go back down. So I can picture my profit going up, and now it's starting to go back down so that I could have a second break-even point out here somewhere. There we go. Somewhere between 600 and 700. Okay, let's find that break-even point. Set my profit cell equal to 0 by changing the unit cell. And then my other break-even point here. Change the profit cell to 0 by changing the quantity. Okay, so there are 2 times when she can break even. She could break even with 83 tickets, or she could break even with 641 tickets. And the question is, assuming the demand price is linear, what price should you charge for the tickets to break even, but you want to maximize the attendance? So given those 2 different break-even possibilities, you want to take the one with higher attendance. And what it wants this time is not the quantity of people attending. It wants to know what price should be charged. And I believe our price was this box. Just double check that. Yes, that's my price column. She should charge $5.43.